I'm going to be talking about Pi today for a change, and I'm going to focus specifically on the highlights of Pi Vision. Um, Very quickly, I'm going to go over Pi System overview, Pi Vision overview, and then the recent releases for Pi Vision and what's coming up in 2025. For those of you who are not familiar with Pi, AVEVA Pi, formerly known as the OSI Soft Pi system, is widely used industrial data management platform. It collects, it stores, analyzes, visualizes, and shares large volumes of real-time operational data. This diagram that you guys see right here, we have the collect layer, and then we have the store and enrich layer, which we're going to talk about in the next slide, and then the visualize and deliver. And this is where Pi Vision sits. Most of the presentation today is going to be talking about this layer right here. All right. Data archive, or this is the Pi server. This is the store and contextualize layer. Okay, so you have the data archive, which is the real-time data storage layer used in on-premise Pi system deployment. Data is stored in Pi points or Pi tags with a timestamp and a value. Very quickly, we jump to the asset framework data enrichment service, which basically lets you create data structures that provide context to raw data streams. And this is where you can set up hierarchies, attach natural language labels to data, include relational data when useful, such as a manufacturer's name and a next service date, for example. And then you have the asset analytics layer, which allows users to build calculations. These calculations can include multiple variables, and it offers a powerful library of built-in functions. Moving up the stack, you have event frames. It allows you to bookmark important events and add descriptive context to further analysis. Finally, the notification layer lets you send selected users an email, for example, or even an alert to notify them of important events that require action or follow-up. So this is a very, very high level overview on what is Pi server. Pi Vision. So what is Pi Vision? It's our flagship visualization tool for consuming Pi system data. It leverages data that has been historized within your data archive, the data that has been transformed in the asset framework with other non-time series data that you've brought into asset framework. All of that can be visualized with Pi Vision, and this, it's there to empower the users to make their data-driven decisions in their everyday tasks using Pi Vision. All right, so now going into Pi Vision highlights and the roadmap. I do want to just start by mentioning that in 2024, we had a couple of releases, the 2023 SP1 and then the 2024. And I think this came out somewhere towards maybe November 2024. And then we're expecting the next release in Q4 2025. So here are some of the new features that came out in 2024. These are some of the bullet points. These are just some of the features that were released. I cannot go over everything, unfortunately, and actually I'm only going to speak about a few of these points. So the first one, the advanced tag search. In AVEVA Pi Vision 2023 release, we focused heavily on modern authentication and the hybrid integration across the Pi system and Pi server using OpenID Connect and support for SSO login. And then follow-up release extended this modern authentication to not only the main application, but also the admin side and the utility endpoints. So as you could see here on this slide, a major enhancement was the introduction of advanced tag search functionality. This feature was highly requested by our customers whose users are transitioning from, let's say, third-party systems and require more efficient methods for locating specific tags through the use of tag attributes as filters. End users and operators often associate a tag with data from a source system by referencing attributes such as, let's say, a point source, location fields, etc. These attributes are essential for accurately identifying the tags intended to visualize. And that's what AVEVA delivered early last year, I think in the 2023 SP1 release. The next feature which is the ability to view recorded values from an AVEVA Pi server. This included the launch of a new time series table symbol within Pi Vision. This came from, feedback from customers that it was critical for certain end users to see the exact timestamps and values written to the data archive for a specific tag. To support these needs, a table was introduced that returns all archived values within time range of the display. Also, this functionality includes returning specific numbers. Additionally, the ability to sort columns was also introduced in this feature. As you can see here on the screen, multi-state configuration is also supported, allowing for visual indicators to highlight when a value falls outside, the normal range. Another feature that was released 2024, it's an enhancement, basically, and it was driven by use cases where Pi Vision displays were not only viewed on desktop monitors, but also on things like mobile devices, video walls, and tablets. So basically, when creating a display, users were previously constrained by a fixed grid and symbol sizing, including default font sizes. However, now Pi Vision offers the ability to customize the font and the font sizes across all symbols, as well as text symbol rich text editor capabilities. I'm personally very excited about this feature. And I think the last feature I want to cover, or maybe the one before the last, for last year, or for the 2024 release, is the bulk edit symbol on a display, which basically lets you select multiple symbols on a display and configure them together to have the same properties. Yeah, I have another one. So also here, the homepage enhancement and folder permissions. AVEVA added the ability to sort displays based on name, owner, last modified, and last accessed, and also added a tabular view to the Pi Vision homepage. This is the last one. I promise. This is the last one for 2024, or that was already released. So what I want to mention here briefly is that the ability for this specific enhancement or feature, it gives the ability to administrators to be able to see all of the connected users, connected sessions to Pi Vision at that current time. Now, this feature comes in handy when you are doing some troubleshooting. So by going into this admin report, you can see not only the displays that are open and who has them open, but we also have metrics on how long it took to make that data request, as well as when it was updated. So let's say if you have a display that is taken 5, 6, 7 seconds to load, and the rest of the displays are taken like 100 milliseconds to load or to update, you know that there's a problem with that specific screen. And moving on to the next part of the presentation, which is what's coming up in 2025. Again, this is supposed to or scheduled to be released in Q4 2025. The collection feature. Or the collections feature. It was first introduced in Pi Vision 2016. It allows for a group of symbols associated with an asset to be repeated on a display based on a specific search filter criteria. In 2025 release, a new capability enables sorting of collections based on attributes values. Since collections are created from asset templates, any attribute from that template can now be used for sorting. The next enhancement focuses on the ad hoc workspace. Originally introduced in 2019, I believe, it's a powerful tool for quick data exploration and analysis. The ad hoc workspaces or the ad hoc workspace allows users to select data items from various symbols within a display and open them in a full screen, trend and table view, which includes summary statistics for further analysis. The enhancement that will be added in 2025 is a standalone experience that enables users to access and analyze data without relying on a pre-configured display. So what does that mean? It means that the updated workspace now offers direct access from the Pi Vision homepage This clean slate environment allows users to search through the asset hierarchy or locate specific tags, then drag them into the workspace for analysis in a full screen trend and table. New functionality also includes integrated search directly within the workspace itself, enabling users to add data items without leaving the workspace environment. Additionally, dedicated URL access has been introduced, allowing users to bookmark workspaces and launch it directly, bypassing the need to navigate, from the home page to the workspace. This is the last feature that I'm going to talk about, which is also coming up in 2025, is the improved usability of tables. So this means the ability to transpose asset comparison table, making it easier to view many attributes. It gives label configuration options on all tables, also alignment configuration options on all tables.